All right, trying this again. See if this works. Yeah, we'll give this another shot and see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't just cancel itself again. But time will tell. All right, that seems to be okay there. Seem to be fine here. Excellent connection. Let's just see. Okay, so it seems to be about a 30-second delay. We are getting going here, though, folks. Hopefully it won't do that to us again. But yeah, let's pretend that never happened and start again. Hey, folks, it's Reviewy McReviewface coming back at you, and today we are doing a stick and poke review. So this is the official stick and poke tattoo kit from stickandpoketattoo.com. I'll put a link down below for those of you who want to take a look at that. Yeah, so we're just going to go to the big camera view here and take a look at what all, there we go, what all we get inside the stick and poke kit. So popping this open here, we get this lovely stick and poke tattoo kit booklet that we will go through here in a second. We also get a wide variety of lovely sharp needles. So we got a couple of these are like, yeah, larger groupings. I think this one, it's a 7-pack, a 5-pack, a couple of 3-packs, and another 5-pack. So 3 packs will be the liners, more the liner style, and the 5 and the 7 is more for the shading. So we've got those needles there. We also get inside of here, I've already sanitized my hands, so everything's nice and clean here. Also in this kit, we're still live, we're still good, yeah, excellent. Hopefully we don't have to reset the stream every 3 seconds, or 3 minutes. So we get this lovely little glass jar here. That'll be great for putting the ink into. Speaking of ink, here is our Stick and Poke Tattoo Professional Ink. Made in the USA and vegan. Not something I'm too concerned about, but if you are concerned about that kind of thing, this is a vegan ink. Pack of rubber gloves, which we won't open quite yet. Some alcohol prep pads, always handy. The stencil transfer gel, which will be great for the stencil, because yes, we do get to do a stencil with this, which is fantastic. An adhesive bandage for later. Some hustle butter to help with the healing of the tattoos. That's very nice of them to put that in there. And then there's also some soap that they send you, which I've already got in this bottle here, which unfortunately is leaking like a sieve. Oh my goodness, it's actually leaking a lot more than I thought it was. It's actually leaked about half the bottle out now, which is phenomenal. Yay! That's wonderful, isn't it? I love it when things like that work out. So we also have the pad that we're going to put down, that we're going to be tattooing on. We've got the dry lock, the meat packing pad that you put over the tattoo when it's healing. We've got some gauze sponges, and of course we've got our transfer paper. Very handy transfer paper. That's going to be very helpful. Let's make sure. Seem to be still everything good. Excellent. So yeah, in our stick and poke kit, just gives you some links and all of that. I'll put that up here, so if anybody wants to follow them on their various social medias, you can do that there. Warning, tattooing can be dangerous. Don't do this at home. Except, well, unless you want to. Yeah, one-time use only. Obviously, you're not sharing any needles. If you mess it up, call a doctor. You know, the obvious stuff. Word about bloodborne pathogens. You know, just basically be careful with that stuff. Easiest way not to worry about that as much, and say as much, is to only be doing your own tattoo. Now, they have a gallery of ideas here. they have some tips. You know, the simpler the better. If you can line draw it, it can be poked. And then they give you a series of really, really terrible looking drawings that I would not use any of those personally. I'll show you some of the art that I've got a little bit later on and show you what we're going to be doing. Yeah, definitely not doing like a Batman logo or a really messed up San Francisco Giants logo. That's not gonna fly. So what do we got in here? Yeah, we've got all the things we've gone through. All of that. Here's what is all in the vegan ink, in case you're curious. And then they go through the instructions as well. Read all the instructions. Clean the area. We've already sanitized this. We've got the green soap that's leaking everywhere, ready to go. It's really, yeah, making a mess. I may have to go grab a towel later. Lay out the medical covering. Choose an area not near a mucous membrane. And I will be tattooing my ankle today because it's reachable. And if I mess it up really, really badly, I can just put a sock over it. So stenciling the ideas. So what you're supposed to do with the stencil, remove the loose paper from between the top. So there's some paper. Yeah, you just take this paper out of the middle. If you hear any beeping downstairs, my wife is making a cake today. So I'm very lucky, aren't I? Yes, remove that. Draw on top of the stencil so the ink transfers to the underside of the top paper. Yeah, I'm not 100% which. They keep saying, like, remove the loose paper between the top and bottom stencil papers. I don't know which one is supposed to be the top and which one is supposed to be the bottom of the stencil papers. Yeah. Draw atop the stencil so the inky paper transfers to the underside of the top paper. Oh, so I guess this is the top. This gives you a stencil. Prepare the skin. Wash with soap and water, sterilize with alcohol, smear a small amount of the stencil transfer gel onto the skin, place the stencil on the skin, press firmly for a minute. Okay, so that brings us to the stencil portion of this. So wanted to talk a little bit about the drawings that we're going to use. So I have a few tattoos myself, but I've also done some drawings. I guess you would call it flash art. Going back to my roller derby days, we had some stuff I did for derby, and then I had a slightly nicer black and white sheet that I did of derby art. Things like this, don't cut the track. If you're for the derby people, they'll get that hopefully. So I've been drawing up tattoo style pictures for quite a while. Some of them not that great, but it's something I've always done, is just drawing up little bits of flash art like that. So I've decided, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I can definitely do something a little bit more involved, or try to do something a little bit more involved than just like a little stick arrow or something like that. This one right here, I've always wanted to get this done as a chess piece, Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets. My wife has vetoed that with a definitiveness that will, that I will never change her mind on that, unfortunately. We still seem to be live and everything's good. Good. So here is the sheet of flash. It's been sitting here for a while, so you can see there's some coffee stains and such on it. Some of the ideas of tattoos that I thought I might get. So things like the Stonecutters logo. This is a frame from a cartoon of Life in Hell, Matt Groening. His original cartoon is one of the characters from the Hockey Sweater, famous Canadian book, right? The Expos logo, the Mandalorian logo, Bart's mother tattoo, Kurt Van Houten's drawing of Dignity, picture of a pug, a Calgary skyline, a rose, a Star Trek emblem, a robot puking up screws that Bart drew, stuff like that. In the end, though, I think what I've decided to do is go with one of these two guys here. So this is Worker and Parasite. For those of you who don't know, it is a fairly deep Simpsons cut. There was an episode where Krusty the Clown could no longer get access to Itchy and Scratchy cartoons, so he went, I think it was the Czechoslovakian version, Worker and Parasite, and it's this really weird, janky looking cartoon. So we're going to go with the little... I don't know if this guy's worker or if he's parasite. I don't think they ever cleared that up for us. But we are going to... that's the one we're going to do today. All right. So let's go back to the tattoo angle here. And, oh shoot, one thing I didn't think of is I don't know if I have a pen handy and ready. But I do need a pen to draw out the stencil. I don't have a pen handy, and I'm also leaking a lot of water, so I'm just going to take 1 second here. Never find a pen when you need one. It's always the way, right? Okay. I'm just going to move this very soggy bit of paper towel here. Because I didn't have a good squirt bottle, so I decided to just grab one at the store, and I didn't realize I bought a bad one. So, got that tea towel under that. Hopefully I've got enough of that soap left now. All right, there we go. We're back. We're going. Everything's still running. Fantastic. Pen just got thrown up at me from over the balcony. Thank you, dear. All right, so now we're going to try and sketch out. I think this is a good size right here of... Here, let's turn it so you guys can see it. Let's call this guy Worker. I like calling him Worker instead of Parasite. I'd rather get a tattoo of a worker on my ankle than a tattoo of a parasite. That's just me. So, I think what we could do is just put the transfer paper like that, and then we're just going to trace out the outline here. Trying to get as smooth of a line as we can, knowing that it doesn't need to be too smooth because it's not like I'm going to be tracing this out with a nice tattoo machine that will be able to duplicate those nice straight lines. So it looks like we have one person in the who's watching us right now. So to that one person, welcome. Hopefully we'll get a few more folks joining us as we go. Okay. I think that is a suitable tracing there. So let's see if that worked. We'll put our pad over there, and it looks like we have little Worker here ready to rock and roll. Okay, there he is. Look at that. What a lovely looking little mouse he is, eh? So we'll just kind of tear it off there. We've got a little bit of transfer paper left if we need to redo that, but we'll see. All right, so we have our tracing ready to go. And that's going to be the ankle tattoo here. So I'm just going to do a quick check here. If anybody has noticed, yeah, so we're just getting that ready. All right, yeah, we're all good. Excellent condition, no drop frames, we're still going great. All right, so the next thing is to prepare the skin for the stencil, which is to wash with soap and water, sterilize, which I've already done, and then sterilize it with an alcohol wipe. So first thing we're going to do is put down our cleanup pad here. Just like so. That's where my ankle is going to sit. It's on this nice clean paper on my desk. Ah, there, that's a comfy position right there, I tell you. So let's just see if we've got like up to here. So just got to adjust the camera angle a little bit so that we get all the way up to where I'm actually tattooing. All right, come here, camera. So you can tell this is a very high budget work here with this thing just kind of taped on. Okay, so we've got that ready. We just need one of the alcohol prep wipes. we've got that. We're just going to prep the area that's already been shaved and washed. But yeah, just give it a nice wipe of alcohol, make sure it's good and clean. Looks like we're still going live, so that's fantastic. All right, that's nice and clean. Next step, according to our little booklet here, wipe a small amount of the stencil transfer gel onto the skin and spread it around, but don't let it be goopy, basically. Where did we put our transfer gel? I know I had there's the transfer gel right here, ready for us. So we just need a tiny amount, I think, considering the size of this tattoo. So we're just going to, I think a little dab will do ya. That should do it right there, right? So we're just going to get that all over this area here. Probably should have done a dry positioning check first to make sure that it's going to be where I want it to be on my ankle, but we've already got, so we want it, so they said, so it's not slimy or wet, because that'll smear it. So maybe we'll just do a dab off of that. There we go. Okay, I think that should do it. Now, the positioning on the ankle. I think we want them right about there. That looks about good, eh? What do we think? Ready, set. We're just going to press them into place and see how that works. This is my first time doing a stencil, so hopefully it works out at least halfway decent. I think as long as it gives a general idea, I mean, we can refer back to the original drawing to make sure. Okay, place the stencil, press firmly for a minute, and remove the stencil, and allow the area to air dry. This will keep the stencil ink on for longer. Okay, so we're just going to give that a little pressure for a couple of minutes, and then we'll get the everything else ready. Okay, so I think is that good? Let's take a look in the tail area. That'll tell us. Okay, so we get that's a good enough amount of transfer. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's transferred beautifully. Oh yeah, there he is. There he is, little worker. So he's going to be upside down for you folks at home. For me, trust me, my foot is down here. The only place it didn't do perfectly is right at the top there, but that's okay. I think we can work with that. Okay, so we have our stencil ready. Fantastic. So the next step is to shake the ink bottle, squeeze it into the neat little glass jar. Okay, it's all shaved. Then don't dull the needle in the glass jar. And then start stabbing yourself repeatedly. So this just gives you a bit of information. I love this instruction here. Stop if you suck, which we will definitely be doing. If I am terrible at this, we will definitely be stopping. Okay, so we've got our ink. We've got our little ink bottle there. Sealed for freshness. That's always nice. Let's get rid of that. There we go. It does have a little bit of goop at the top there, so we're just going to shake that a bit more. Just want to make sure that ink is nice and good to go. I gotta say, I am a bit nervous about doing this, but let's see. Okay, so there, got our ink shaken. We put it into our little glass jar, like so. Well, maybe not like so. It doesn't seem to want to come out the tip there. Oh, is this one of these ones? I think you have to cut the tip off. Oh, hate those. There we go. We have cut off the tip. And we'll ink in the bottle. So that's our ink that we're working with. Whew, all right. Which means we're now down to this step where we start breaking into these scary looking needles. I think I am going to start. So as I said, we've got, and you can see these are all properly sterilized and packaged, sealed, everything like that. So we've got our 3-pack, our 5s, and our 7. So I'm going to start with one of the 3s. Because that should be a nice fine line. And also just going to get into our gloves here, because it is not a tattoo unless you have these black gloves, right? Like that's just the thing. There, that feels very, very real tattoo-y to me now with the black glove. Do I need both? I guess. Why not? Again, I think, you know, this is my own skin and my own blood. So it's not the same as tattooing somebody else, but still. Let's just do as they tell us to. Follow all the instructions. So far, this kit, I'm very impressed with it. Nice clean needles, which is always amazing. But yeah, everything, the instructions are very clear. So here, I don't know if you can make that out, but there is 3 points on that needle. Right there, yeah. So we dip it in the ink. We now have black ink on the tip of the needle. And this is where we start stabbing ourselves. I do know some of the newer kits do come with like a holder that makes this a little bit easier. But we're just going to go with this and see how it goes. Lisa says, I am so excited. Liz, yeah, I'm glad you are. I am nervous as hell. So let's see. Here's the first stab. I don't think I went deep enough. Oh, man. I'm like sweating. I am sweating. This is... I don't think I'm going deep enough. Because I don't see any ink sticking in there. Put a little more ink in the jar. Stabby. Yes, very stabby. Okay, so we've got our first line done. I'm sweating. Looks like we've got a few more people who have joined us to watch me stab myself live on camera. That's great. Welcome, everybody. Don't think I'm getting deep enough there. Now the Jai is also sweating. Jai, don't worry. I promise I will be okay. I know this is not the most interesting video to listen to, that's for sure. Okay, so we have a foot almost done. It's interesting looking on the camera. I think I can see spots where I could go over it a little bit more like that. Yeah, so that seems to be working okay. Pain. Compared to a regular tattoo, this is nothing. Like, really, this does not hurt really nearly as much as a real tattoo. It's still a real tattoo. But it does not hurt as much as a buzzing tattoo machine going over your skin, that's for sure. It feels like little pinpricks, obviously, because it is. Pain level, yeah, Lisa, you were just asking about pain level. I would say definitely manageable. I wouldn't say I'm a wimp when it comes to pain, but I'm definitely not someone to tolerate excessive amounts of pain for no reason. But I think, yeah, this is manageable pain. Again, am I going deep enough? I don't really know yet. So maybe it's only manageable pain because I'm not actually going deep enough into the skin. But they said to feel for like a little pull, like a poke, and then it should be like a pulling feeling. And I'm definitely getting that little pull that feels like the skin is resisting as I'm coming back out. So I think I'm going deep enough. I was just waiting for someone in the comments to say that's what she said. But yeah, so there we go. We've got the legs done on Little Worker. So let's try for the main part of the body here. I've got a little bit of the shakes because it's still, you know, even with it not hurting much, I mean, it's still stabbing myself. So it is still a little bit of an adrenaline rush, but not nearly as much as like the first couple of minutes when you get really going in a professional tattoo. Again, this, I think you want to make sure you're keeping your skin and keeping everything as clean as you can if you're doing this. But it is definitely, I would still say, you know what, if I want to get a well done tattoo, I'm still going to go to a professional. This is not replacing professional tattoos for me. But you know, here in 2020, when sometimes you just can't get to a tattoo shop, then this is an option. This you can see all of where the little poke marks are. So this is going to be very much kind of a pointillism type of look, I think. But I can always go. I think what they recommend is going back over it a few times, just to get as clean a line as you can. Oh, and Bowie is seeing something outside the front window, so he's going to start yipping and yapping here. Okay, thank you, Bowie. Thank you for your contribution. He's very good about that, especially during like a meeting or something, deciding that he's going to make himself known. And Mrs. McReviewface now quieting the pup. So far, I think this is turning out all right. I'm pretty happy with where this is at right now. We're at about the 30-minute mark. But that's included all the prep time too, so. Again, I'm hoping I'm going deep enough on this, but there is the possibility that I am not, that that I need to be stabbing a little harder on this, but This feels like it's going into the skin. I just can't really tell. I think it's one of these things you just have to kind of try it, and then if it doesn't work, try again. And if that doesn't, and again, like it says in the instructions, if you suck, stop. You don't have, you know, I always figured if this really goes terribly, I will go to my favorite tattoo artist and just say, hey, I did this. Please don't judge me, but help me fix it. Yeah, so it looks like we've got about 3 people watching. Fritzy and Thunder are reciprocating Bowie's alarm now. Sorry, Fritzy. Sorry, Thunder. Or sorry, any other dogs that were watching that got set off by Bowie barking. He's very protective of our house, which isn't a bad thing, to be protective of the home. Whew, okay. The only thing really getting sore right now is my ankle bone because it's just kind of sitting, on hard desktop. Other than that, I think we're doing okay. If there is anybody watching who's ever done one of these tattoos before, if you have any tips and tricks, I'd love to hear them. Obviously, this is my first time attempting this. I can't remember if Little Worker has beady black eyes, but since I don't remember for sure, we're just going to go with little black outlines. That may turn into blobs anyways, so it may not be important. It's coming along fairly quickly. I'm happy with that part. So it seems to be sticking, so that's good. And again, you know what, if this first layer, if I'm not going deep enough or it just otherwise looks bad, we can always go back over it again another time. Got lots of ink, lots of clean needles. So no need to get frustrated or give up on it if the first little bit here isn't perfect. Something else to note here too is there's like maybe a couple little droplets of blood, but not much, which is nice. Also makes me wonder if I am going deep enough, but I guess time will tell on that. I think it was really fun to kind of figure out what I wanted to do on here in terms of design. I think this was a good choice just because this character can be kind of janky looking. And if it looks a little janky, well, that's just the Czechoslovakian drawing style. So that's fine. Love to hear from you guys in the comments. Those of you who do have tattoos, first of all, if you would do this for yourself, would you give yourself a stick and poke tattoo? And also, if you do have tattoos, just maybe tell me about your favorite tattoo. If you don't have a tattoo, What would you get if you had an opportunity to go and get a tattoo right now? What would you get? Maybe you want something to commemorate 2020. Maybe you just want to forget this year ever happened. I have quite a few tattoos myself. I have, let me just finish this line. I have my my pinup of Ahsoka Tano on this arm. I've got a very bad stub of a cigar on this arm. I've got my Stranded Water Valley tattoo on the back of this calf, and on the back of the other calf I have my running pug, which it's funny, I got the tattoo long before I got Bowie, but it does look a lot like him. Oh my goodness, this leg is completely asleep. Okay. I just realized how asleep that foot was. Whew, and it is very, very much asleep. Okay, let's get it back into position. The nice thing with it going to sleep is that it means that I won't be moving much. So let's get back to work. There we go. Looks like our stream is still in good shape, so that's good news. Like I said, sweating buckets over here. But it's I think this is a really good product for the times, considering a lot of people, maybe you want to get a tattoo, but obviously, maybe you're not able to get to a tattoo artist right now. Maybe you want to branch out and try your own hand at it. Obviously, hopefully just to be doing things to yourself. I don't think this is something I would say like, oh, hey, once you've done a stick and poke tattoo on yourself, now you can go out and set up, be a kitchen magician. Obviously, tattoo artists take a lot of time getting properly trained for a reason. They're generally some of the best artists around. Plus, they have all the training in how to keep you safe, so you don't end up, with some horrible bloodborne disease. It's always nice to avoid those. But yeah, if you're just looking for something fun for yourself, this is kind of a fun little kit. That's definitely a safer way to do a stick and poke tattoo than, say, making something at home, like your own, using ink out of a pen or something stupid like that. At least this is actual good quality tattoo ink, proper tattoo needles, all of that good stuff. I think it's definitely a better way to do it. Okay, so we have now done our initial stick and poke circuit. So we're going to get a little paper towel. This is the moment of truth right here. And a little of our soapy water. And just see how much of it's stuck. Wow. Like, not much at all. Okay, so I guess I was not going deep enough at all, because it looks like I've wiped off most of my ink. Okay, see, actually, no, you can see there are some dots there where it has stuck. Not a lot of them, though, so I definitely need to go a little deeper, I think. So let's give that another round. And this time, try it a little bit deeper. See how that works. think I'm a little less hesitant now, which is good too. I think that first round, I probably should have just wiped after the very first, you know, just done the leg and then wiped to see. But there we go. Okay, let's try this again. Get a clean piece of paper towel. It's still not looking... I still feel like that's not going deep enough, is it? Let's try again. So I think this is, yeah, it's a lot of trial and error to kind of figure out. I think that's better because I'm getting like that sound from the skin. I think that's probably a better thing. I probably should have wiped after the first. That's what she said. Thank you, Lisa. That's... Somebody needed to say it. I'm glad it was you. Okay. Again, going a little deeper there. There, that looks like it's sticking better. That leg looks better. Now it looks like I'll have to do a few passes in order to make a nice solid line. But that looks better in terms of there's actual dots of ink under the skin there. Yeah, I'm getting definitely more of that sound as I poke into the skin now. So that, to me, says that this is actually doing something this time. Pain level has gone up a little bit. Poking a little harder, obviously, as you would expect it to. But I think it's just one of those things. It's like, first you gotta play with it and just see. You don't know how deep to go. You don't know how hard to press until you do it. This probably would have been easier if I'd gone with a simpler design, for sure. But this is about as simple as I want it to go. All right. Yeah, I think the thing you want to feel here is it needs to hurt a little bit, and you need to feel like a little bit of resistance both coming in and coming out. So the needle pulling out has a bit of resistance, as does the needle going in. There we go. And there. Make sure. Oh, I just realized I'm almost out of frame here. Oh, my ankle is killing me now on the other side, because that's where it's just laying against the table. But again, it's gonna. No, I think I do need to actually just take a quick break here and put maybe a towel or something soft underneath this pad. So here, let's just grab a towel. Oh, foot is completely asleep. This will be fun for walking. Whee! Yeah, my foot is completely asleep. Trying to grab something without using the gloves here. Whew. All right, trying not to break my ankle, because that's a real good way to break your ankle, is just to start walking around while your foot's asleep. There, I think that. Okay, just gotta take a second here. The foot is completely asleep. I just gotta let the blood flow go back to it before I put it back up on the counter here. I just want to say thanks to it looks like we got about 4 people in the viewership right now. Thanks for dropping by and watching me stab myself. Hope you're enjoying it. And yeah, I'd love to hear in the comments anybody who's done this sort of stick and poke tattoo before, how your experience went with it. My leg is just about done being completely numb and asleep, and then we will get going again. Looks like we've been on live here for about 48 minutes. So yeah, we're gonna get this done as quick as we can. Okay. Back up you go, foot. And let's go back to the tattoo big view here. And yeah, we are ready to go once again. Once more unto the breach, dear friends. Let's get back to the eyes here. There we go. Nice little eye. Now, obviously, of course, those of you who know me know that, of course, I was going to do a Simpsons tattoo for this stick and poke, because I am quite the Simpsons fan. So, yeah, there was never a question of it. Well, there was a bit of a question of it being a Simpsons tattoo, because I thought there were some other ways I could go. But at the end of the day, it was like, well, no, really. Once I'd gone through my choices, it really came down to, okay, I do want this to be a Simpsons one. Lisa and I actually have been talking about getting some matching tattoos one of these days. We always said, that's my sister, said, she would maybe get the one of Lisa kicking and Bart throwing his arms in the air, You know, I'm just gonna swing my arms like this, and if you get hit, it's your own fault. So that's still on the books for one of these days. There we go. Yeah, seems to be going all right. Slowly but surely. Again, I apologize. The stream may not be the most interesting thing as I kind of focus on the stabbing. Yes, post-pandemic tattoo priorities. Good alliteration there, Lisa. That's very good. But yeah, once we get past the pandemic, we'll definitely have to plan something out for our matching Simpson tattoos. This is definitely a lot slower than getting a machine tattoo. The nice thing with the machine, you know, it's stabbing a couple thousand times a minute, so it's just bzzzt, and you're done. It is much more peaceful not to have to listen to that machine buzzing away. Not to mention the vibration. I don't know about the rest of you, but when I get a tattoo, that vibration after a while is just as bad as the needles. So it's nice to not have to deal with that. Just kind of poking away. I'm sure everybody else has got other things going on. Maybe just have this on in the background. I do appreciate you coming to watch today. Just a reminder, too, that if you haven't subscribed to the Reviewy McReviewface channel, 99.6% of the people who watch Reviewy McReviewface videos are not subscribed. So if that's you, please consider clicking that subscribe button and staying tuned for more thrilling content, like watching me slowly stab myself for an hour and a half. And I think that as I go through this, I'm getting a little braver with the depth of poking here. So I think I'm actually getting through into that middle layer of skin. And that's what you want to do. You want to get past that top layer of skin into the middle layer. That's the layer that preserves ink. Top layer is if you write on yourself with a Sharpie. That's where that lives. And third layer is just you're just basically making yourself bleed if you get down to there. And that apparently also contributes to tattoos looking blown out if they go too deeply. So it looks like we're still running well for the stream, so that's good. And for those of you in the comments, comment down below, let me know, because I'm going to give this a wipe in a second, and let me know whether you think it's going to be better, worse, or the same than the first go round. Better, worse, or the same as the first attempt to get some ink in here. I think it's going to be better, but I think it's still going to need at least 1 to 2 more passes. But I guess we will have to see. It's interesting. The only part that seems to be a little bit swollen is right back here at the base of or at the end of the tail. And I think it's just because that gets into a little bit more of a tender area than the rest of the ankle. I'm just going to redo this part too. So I think that's why that's a little bit more swollen than the rest. Going over this for the 3rd time with this needle. Thank you. Lisa says it's definitely going to be better. I hope so. Going over this for the 3rd time kind of sucks. Thank you, Bowie. Appreciate your comments from the peanut gallery. He's very good at that. All right, so there we've got our next round of poke through. So let's give that a wipe and see. Here we go. Oh yeah, that's definitely, there's definitely more of it sticking there. It's still not that dark. So I think it still needs another go or 2 or 3 maybe. But it's definitely getting ink into the skin now. It's just funny how it's taking a lot longer. So maybe what we'll do, maybe that's just because we're going with such a thin needle pack. Now that I'm a little more comfortable, maybe what we'll do is we will move up to one of the 5s. So this has 5 needles in the packing, packed into the top of it here, as opposed to 3. So it's a little bigger. Can't really see that, I guess. Or maybe you can. There it is. So yeah, it's a few more needles in there. So let's see if that maybe helps to really get a bit more of a solid line. Here we go. There we go. I don't think I can really tell the difference between the 2 needle packs in terms of pain. Kind of all feels the same to me. I mean, really, you have to be kind of Princess in the Pea to tell the difference between 3 needles and 5 needles, I think. I'm just hoping it kind of helps to fill the line in a little better. So it's not quite so splotchy looking. There we go. Again, I know, fascinating commentary here. As I go long stretches without saying anything. Would love it if I could play some music or something in the background, but I don't want to get a YouTube copyright strike for playing the wrong music or something. Okay. Coming along, coming along. think the other thing I can do too is, since I do have some more needles here, is let this heal up a little and kind of see what areas look the worst, and then kind of go back over them again once it's healed up a little. So yeah, so this is what I'm doing for Labor Day. Hope the rest of you are having a lovely Labor Day as well. I know it's still difficult with it being the pandemic and everything. Usually right about now I would be prepping for a Calgary Stampeders football game and a tailgate that we usually start tailgating around 8 in the morning. So it's a little weird not to be prepping for that. But hopefully you all have some fun Labor Day plans tomorrow. Foot is gone right to sleep again. Joys of just having it up on the desk like this. But yeah, it's fine. Might actually make this hurt a little less, I don't know. Hopefully everybody's enjoying. I know that my hand's usually in the way here, but hopefully everybody's enjoying the top-down camera view. Gives you a little bit better view than if I was just using the side camera over here. Still stabbing away, still going. Just goes to show this isn't the quickest process. Again, if you want a quick tattoo, you probably want to go to a professional who probably could have done this tattoo for me in about 15 minutes in color. This way is definitely a lot slower. But, you know what, it is kind of neat to have a piece. I'll have a piece of art on my body here that is 100% something that I drew. Well, 100% that I drew from something that was on TV. But, you know. Coming along here. Looks like we're just over the hour mark now, so thanks for those of you who've stuck around. For those of you who are just kind of popping in and out, I appreciate you as well. Recognizing, you know, maybe you can't sit around for an hour and watch Reviewy McReviewface mutilate his leg all day. You've got other plans, but appreciate you popping by. Go. So hopefully this this 5-pack of needles packs a bit more ink underneath the skin. So right now we're getting a very faded look. It's almost like a connect the dots look, as opposed to a nice solid tattoo line. But hopefully this helps with that a little bit. Helps to make it look a little better. We're coming along here. Slowly but surely. Just don't call me Shirley. I've already made that joke today, haven't I? And I'm starting to repeat myself. Repetition is my job. My job. It's my job to be repetitive. My job. Points to anybody who knows that Simpsons reference. I'm sorry if there's anybody who came in here hoping that I was going to be squealing and crying as I do this. It really is not that painful. But yeah, if you have even a somewhat steady hand and a decent tolerance for pain, and want to get yourself a stick and poke tattoo, I would highly recommend this over any sort of homemade version of a stick and poke kit. These folks, yeah, seem to have thought of everything in terms of keeping things sterile and safe and still having some fun. So highly recommend them. I'll put a link up if anybody's looking for it. You can also send me a message on any social media platforms, and I do have a coupon code that I can share with you for a certain percentage off. But you got to reach out to me for that. Coming around the tail again. All right, so there's our 5-pack of needles. Let's see how that does with a little bit of cleanup. It's always the part of tattooing I hate the most. It's when the tattoo artist starts wiping. It's always the aggressive wipers. That looks like, oh, that's coming much better. That actually, I'm pretty happy with how that looks right now. That actually looks like the ink is sticking, which is fantastic. I think one more pass through with that 5-pack of needle, and we're going to have a finished tattoo. So I am super pumped about that. That's looking much better. So let's go one more time. Once more unto the breach, dear friends. The skin is definitely starting to get tender after poking it repeatedly in the same place. Kind of like, okay, you can knock that off now. Going over that for the fourth damn time. I think, though, yeah, if you were doing a smaller, less intricate design, then yeah, you can go over it 3 or 4 times to get a good solid line on it, and you'd be much happier with it. So I think that is the thing with the stick and poke, is you are still doing kind of that pointillism. So the more times you can go over it, the closer to a clean line you're going to get. And the more time you can just kind of spend sticking and not rushing it too much, the better your result is going to be. Of course, your results may vary. But I think, yeah, if you can spend some time getting used to how it feels, having a needle in your skin, get used to how deep you want to push that needle in. Yeah, the more time you can spend with it, the better. You know, don't rush it. Take your time. Make sure you got plenty of time to just kind of go over it as much as you want. The other key, I would say, if you've never had a tattoo before, make sure you have a full-ish meal in your stomach. You know, I've gone a couple of times without proper nutrition, and let's just say the result was me feeling fairly faint for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Once again, though, this definitely, the pain level is much lower for me than a traditional machine tattoo. There we go. As I said, I'm very happy with the little kit that they sent here. The little glass bottle for holding the ink is nice. Nicer than one of those little plastic cups. Because it's got a bit of weight to it, so it's not going to get knocked around. All the supplies they give you to keep you sterile and safe. It's very, very much appreciated. There we go. I know my hand is in the way a lot of the time here of the camera. I apologize for that. At the end of the day, though, I definitely need to be able to have the best hand position to get a good poke, so that has to trump camera viewership, unfortunately for you folks, but I think you still get a pretty good view of what's going on here. And yeah, as you can see, you can get pretty fine control here. You know, like, if you're careful with it and you have a steady hand. You know, I got those 2 little eyes. I don't know how well they'll stay permanently. Maybe they'll smudge out later, but for now anyways, they don't look too bad. So yeah, just again, take your time. Don't rush it too much. And again, what you're really looking for here is kind of that feeling, almost like a little bit of suction as you pull back out of the skin. That seems to be, for me, that seems to be when I'm getting the ink to actually stay. Almost feels like the needle sticks a little bit in the skin. Oh, leg is very much gone to sleep here. So hopefully, hopefully I'll be able to walk here in a minute. Again, fascinating conversation here, eh? I never know what to say to my tattoo artist, you know. You never want to be a pain and like just jabber away. But at the same time, sometimes you get that silence and it's like, I know they're concentrating and they're working. But you almost, it's like you just want to fill that silence up with something, anything. As I said, if I could play some music here, I would, but thanks, YouTube. Feel free, if you're watching at home, feel free to turn some music on your own in the background. Almost done here, which is good because my leg has gone from numb to actually starting to hurt a little bit. Again, not the tattoo part, but just the part where I'm cutting off all circulation, having my leg up this high on a desk. We're on the home stretch here, going down the tail. So thank you very much for everybody who's been watching. Appreciate you coming by today. Hope you've enjoyed watching me repeatedly stab myself. In quarantine times, you got to do what you got to do in order to get a tattoo. And I'm not telling you should get a tattoo, I'm just saying, if you're wanting to get a tattoo in quarantines and you want a nice simple little design, hey, that ain't not half bad right there. So there is my stick and poke kit quarantine tattoo. I'll probably go over it at some point just to make it a little bit sharper, but hey, that's not bad. That'll definitely do. Oh, take the leg down. I'll have to let the blood flow back into that leg, and then we can put the compression or gauze sponge on it. Oh God, my leg is really asleep now. But yeah, we'll clean it up. We'll put the healing butter on it, put the cover on it, and let it do its thing. But that is that. There we are. We're done for today. We have completed our stick and poke tattoo. I would say, really fun experience. If this is something you'd be interested in doing, definitely check out stickandpoketattooKit.com. Gives you everything you need except for a squirt bottle. You have to get your own squirt bottle. Don't get this squirt bottle. This squirt bottle is garbage. But it gives you absolutely everything you need to give yourself your very own stick and poke tattoo. So yeah, that's everything for me. But hey, I'm not trying to sell you anything, folks. I'm just telling you about sticking and poking. I'm Reviewy McReviewface. Thanks so much for checking out this live stream. Make sure you click that subscribe button. And I will see you next